think that going to big league camp really kind of capped everything off for me. I think I had the most nerves going into big league camp, and I think being there and being around the guys and being around a lot of the veterans, I think it really calmed me down. And then now being in minor league camp, I think I really feel. I think a good way to say is just dominant. I think facing some of the big leaguers and 40-man guys and just generally older guys to facing kind of my level high A guys, double A guys. I think honestly I just feel pretty dominant, and I'm looking to take that into the season. So I think definitely a little bit of nerves. I think biggest thing I've been thinking about is just the travel, mainly the 9 or 10 hour bus rides. But talking about basically just the overall pitching aspect of it, I'm really excited. Knowing that starting in high, like you said, being that that's obviously a big kind of promotion for me, just kind of ending in short season A, but also like you said, I feel like I'm very comfortable with the ballpark, and I feel like I kind of have an edge, just a competitive edge over the competition, just because I know kind of how the field plays, like how the wind works with being right on the water, and just kind of I feel like how to pitch guys, but also just being comfortable. And in 2019 we had fans, and so that was new for me, being from the GCL where there were no fans, it was just your teammates. And so going there and having fans, being there when Cano rehabbed and Jed Lowry, they fans really showed up. And so I think one of the bigger things I was thinking of was what's going to be like pitching in front of fans. But I think just kind of going back to how I handled myself in 2019 and then ultimately in 2020 being on 60 man and pitching against older guys, I think I'm just ready to go. Leagues a little bit at the beginning, that generally pitchers are just, I feel like, a little bit more ahead of the game than hitters. You get a little bit more time. Obviously, we get to show up a little earlier. But like you said, in the off season, we're able to kind of do our craft whenever. We can step on the mound and throw bullpens and sides, touch and feels, and just continuously get reps, when really hitters they're making their money off of live pitching. So they can hit off the tee or do underhand toss or whatever all they want. But when you see 95 coming at you, that's a whole different game. So I definitely think that based off of what I've seen in camp so far, and kind of what I try to communicate to the guys coming in about how to just have a successful spring training, kind of what I felt is just throw strikes, fill up the zone. That's the biggest thing, because I do feel like pitchers do have an edge over the hitters for sure. Everybody else surrounded around, I was just really fortunate for the crew I had around me. They really prepped me and gave me the honest feedback of what minor league baseball is. And the word that they use, that you're going to hear everybody use, is it's just a grind. And I think so far I haven't truly experienced that, because I love baseball, and it's like I said, a game I love playing. And so it doesn't feel like a grind. It doesn't feel like a job. It's just fun every time I get to go out there, with my boys and compete. But I'm not too worried about it, to be honest. The Mets do such a good job keeping us healthy and making sure that they're doing everything they can to help us succeed on the field. And they do that by treating us well off the field, whether it be hotels or travel, food, whatever it is. The Mets are really top notch. And so I haven't had too much concern, but I think I'm just the big thing that they've talked about is just bus rides, not a lot of sleep, just being able to pitch, obviously, when you're really not feeling it. And I think that that's going to be super, super important for me this year.
And just not being able to play. I know I was at the alternate site, and then I got to go to Instructs for a little while, but just the level of competition, like we've gotten some games down here already, and just playing a different uniform has just been amazing, and it brings out the competitive juices in everybody, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm really excited to get going. A pretty high level of pitching, as you know, like in big league camp, but definitely just the constant high A level of pitching. It's just going to be tough, but I just got to stay within myself and do what I do. So pitchers are always going to be a little bit ahead of hitters right when hitters come in. But personally, I've been here for, what is it, like 8 weeks now. So I think I'm doing all right on that end. Maybe a couple of the other guys on our team haven't gotten as many at bats as me, but it'll come like within the first month of the season. So they're not too worried about that. But definitely pitchers are a little bit ahead right now for sure.
What I'm very impressed with Brett is how he goes about his work. He's always striving to get better. He always finds time to do the things he needs to do to get better, whether it's searching out Tim Tuffle to do something or with a hitting coach. He has an appetite for learning. He has an appetite for working, and he's a driven young man, and a very appreciative young man, a very, very thoughtful and very thankful young man. So I have the highest regard for that young man. I think there's big things ahead of him. I call small town baseball. It's the fabric of the United States. It's a culture. These people look forward to it. It's a part of their lives, and they support that particular franchise. Our franchise in Brooklyn is the rabid fans. They love the players, love the organization, and they are dying for minor league baseball. And to have an opportunity to see these young kids develop, the future major leaguers, the future players in Major League Baseball, it's exciting. And they develop a relationship, as they progress through the system. So there's a lot of excitement, there'll be a lot of buzz, not knowing the rules and regulations of COVID of how many people are going to be in the stands, but eventually it's going to be back to normal baseball. And I know in Brooklyn they'll pack the house, that's for sure.